What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video today, and in this video we are at Omaha Eppley Airfield for the 9th airport update for the month of February 2025. We've got a major change to the gate assignments here at Eppley Airfield due to the ongoing construction, and the first big thing that we have is Frontier parking at gate A1, which would typically be the Allegiant gates. Frontier typically parks at either A9 or A10 on the other side, but obviously, with the construction going on, they've since had to move operations, and Allegiant's also had to move as well, and I'll talk about where they're at when we get to them. But starting off here at Gate A1, we've got the Frontier E320neo coming in from Orlando as Flight 4629, and this arrived in at 8:29 a.m., ahead of a scheduled 8:43 a.m. arrival. Here's a look at the flight connections information for MCO on Frontier heading into March, so you can go check that out. But also to have Frontier here from the City Beautiful. We'll go ahead and move on down to our Delta section, skipping A2 today and going right into A3 with a Delta 717 from Atlanta. This arrived in as flight 2364 at 5:26 p.m. ahead of a scheduled 5:32 p.m. arrival. So as always, the former AirTran 717 still maintaining their significant presence down there in Atlanta, Georgia. Be happy to go there this summer for Airliners International, as always. Be sure to attend. We've got about 120 or so days to go, until the show. Pulling in at gate A4 now, we've got a Delta Connection CRJ 900 from Detroit. And this arrived in as flight 4055, operated by SkyWest at 9:46 a.m. ahead of a scheduled 9:50 a.m. arrival. Registration number just a few numbers off from the Gemini 2021 release that I have. Maybe I should still get the newly released one from now a year ago, which has already been a year since they did the most recent one. Time flies. And it's been a year and a half since they did this sucker too, the Embraer 175 with the enhanced winglets, a model that I constantly bothered Gemini to do for a long time, but they finally gave in and they made it. So it makes me and a lot of other people happy. But at A5, this aircraft came in from Salt Lake City as Flight 3706, operated by SkyWest, and I'm doing a little bit of cheating once again, at least with the flight banks, because all the flights in this update are from Friday, February 21st. This is technically part of the bank from Thursday the 20th, as this arrived in at 11:59 p.m. on that day, ahead of a scheduled 12:09 a.m. arrival for Friday. So that's the first time I've ever included a flight like that, but I thought it would be fun just to include a little extra here. But that does it for our Delta section. Now we've got our American section. We've got 3 total aircraft for American here to take a look at. Very nice. We'll start off here with our 738 from Charlotte. This aircraft arrived in as flight 2275 at 1:42 p.m. ahead of a scheduled 1:58 p.m. arrival. Then move on up, we'll have our first release, A320 with the CFM engines, the aircraft that I got to fly on my second ever commercial flight. This A320 came in from DFW as flight 2266, and this arrived in significantly delayed, looking at a 2-hour and 2-minute delay, arriving in at 10:57 a.m., delayed from an 8:55 a.m. scheduled arrival. And then our other American aircraft, our third one here, and our only regional for American in this update, is the CRJ 700, a SkyWest operated one coming in from Phoenix Sky Harbor today as flight 6534 at 4:50 p.m. ahead of a scheduled 5:04 p.m. arrival. I'll go ahead and swing the camera around a little bit to check out our Alaska service. So they're still parking down here at A9, but Frontier up at A1 right now. I'm guessing A10 is probably being taken over by all the construction right now, so that's why that gate is not in use, and that means that A9 has become pretty much exclusively Alaska, and then Frontier taking over where Allegiant used to park at over at A1. So this Alaska 738, this came in from Seattle as flight 312, arriving in at 2:05 p.m. ahead of a scheduled 2:17 p.m. arrival. And for this Alaska-Seattle service, I'm seeing some MAX 9s mixed in there still, which is pretty cool. But otherwise, it'll be mostly just the 737 next generation variants and all that fun stuff. So no major changes for Alaska from Seattle. I remember when they used to have the 700s on there as well, which was really cool. Saw those in 2017, which is like 8 years ago now. I'm going to go ahead and swing the tripod around over here to the B gates, or the North Concourse. And we'll go ahead and take a look at our United section. Just 2 planes over here, and then we have one of a very interesting airline, but you can probably figure out what that one is. And then we have a Southwest section just with 2 planes today. So as we start with our United section, we've got this A320 coming in from Chicago O'Hare as flight 342. And this arrived in at 1:58 p.m. ahead of a scheduled 2:22 p.m. arrival. That's our only mainline aircraft in this update. There was a MAX 8 that parked at that same gate, but of course I wanted to put the 320 in for this update. Here's a number 175 today. This came in from Houston George Bush Intercontinental, and this arrived in as flight 6225, operated by Mesa, at 1:54 p.m. ahead of a scheduled 2:20 p.m. arrival. And then here's our major shakeup for the lineup here at Omaha Eppley Airfield. Allegiant has officially moved operations to the North Concourse. So originally, as you have seen in my previous updates, they used to park over at A1 down in the A gates or the South Concourse. But because of the construction, they have had to move their operations to the North Concourse. So it looks like right now they are taking up residence at gate B15. This A320 came in from St. Petersburg as flight 2659, arriving in at 9:10 a.m. ahead of a scheduled 9:18 a.m. arrival. And with regards to construction, I'll just hit up on this as well. There is currently a partial closure of the entire facility. I think it's like the second level that they have closed right in the middle of the 2 concourses because they are going to start working on the new central pavilion, which will connect the new terminal once they have it all opened up in a few years' time. So now if you park down towards the south terminal, you can't go over to the north terminal inside the current facilities since they have the new central pavilion going up at this point. So just be aware of where you're going if you're flying out of Omaha or if you're picking up someone. Just know that you can't cross between the terminals now that they have the central pavilion going up, which will be quite a prolonged effort. Here's our Southwest section. We've got 2 planes right now. We've got a MAX 8 and a 700, so excluding the 800 for this update today, since it didn't see anything that would have fit in the lineup. Triple Crown 1 did come in on this day, on that Friday, so but of course I don't have that model. I only have California 1 for the 800 specials, so may have to start getting those. But whenever I spot them, maybe I'll get them. That'll be my policy going forward with the Southwest specials. Is I'm only going to get the 800 specials if I spot them. I would have gotten Tennessee 1, but I didn't film it, so that one's off the table still. But maybe I'll pick it up later on. We'll see if the hobby's a little slow later on in the year. I'll get it. But moving on, we've got the MAX 8 coming in from Las Vegas today. This arrived in as flight 2687 at 1 o'clock, ahead of a scheduled 1:20 p.m. arrival. And I saw Southwest has got red-eye flights. They just launched those recently. So it's going to be a bit weird seeing a Southwest flight leave at 11 o'clock and then arrive in at like 6 a.m. the next day, because previously their computer systems couldn't handle red-eye flights. It was like such an antiquated system that they got from the days of Braniff, which shows you how old of an IT system they had, which why they continue using it, I don't know, but they now have moved on from that, I'm guessing, or at least have upgraded it to the point where they can start doing red-eye flights, and that should be fun. But now we move on to our last aircraft for the update, a 737-700 from the other Houston airport, Hobby, as flight 1915 at 2:18 p.m. ahead of a scheduled 2:40 p.m. arrival. And there it is, Omaha Eppley Airfield. A bit of a rapid-fire update this time around, since I've still got a lot of things going on right now, so I just want to make sure that I'm being efficient with my time and filming videos. That does take a bit of time, and then editing them too. But that is going to be Omaha for this month. Nice to see some more updates on the construction. The Central Pavilion finally going up. We'll be excited to update the diorama with some replica of that whenever that comes around. So I'll have to start changing this current diorama. I know it's a bit messy because, you know, pets and animals, they can get up here and start wreaking havoc on this. I've actually had to, if you saw the part in our dust update from, I think it was September, the pets got up here and they wrecked the diorama so much that I had to redo parts of it. So that's why that happened, but thankfully it's been fixed up, at least to the point where I can use it in a video. But at least for the time being, this is how the diorama is going to look. We'll have to find some more permanent space for it because I've got that in Cedar Rapids, and I'm going to start a new airport next month, so I really need to figure out space and all that at some point, but we'll see what happens as we move forward. With that being said, that is the end of the video. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.